let's bring in the US AI chip restrictions to China. How much of a setback is that for innovation, not just by the US chip manufacturers, but globally? And we know that this is a global supply chain. What's at stake here?
You know, innovation by nature, right, is open and collaborative. You know, the smartphone that you're holding, right, has got tens of thousands of patents in there, right? But they're not just owned by one company, they're owned by multiple companies from around the world, see? And they collaborate and they combine these patents together, right, to create a product that we can transform our lives, see? So when we hear of news like that, right, we hope that, you know, these threats of bifurcation, right, will not come to pass. And we hope that in the end, right, you know, there will be continued collaboration and continued openness, right, towards getting good ideas from anywhere in the world, because we need that more than ever, see. So I would say that while there are these trends and we're watching them closely, we hope that IP can continue being a bridge to bring people together, and I think that's really important.
Can I approach this from another market segment? And let's take high-end retail goods. Do they, knockoffs that is, do they proliferate during times of economic stress and periods of inflation? And if this is almost a fact of life, then do the luxury brands simply have to accept this and move on and build it into their P&L?
Well, I think what's happening is that there are challenges, and I think the challenge is not so much due to the pandemic, but because of the rise of e-commerce. And what happens then is that, you know, you have easier avenues, right, for people to sell counterfeit goods, right, online, see. But I know that the world is taking this seriously. The platforms are working with many of the national governments to look at these things. And at the same time, right, we have to look at the opportunities that arise, you know. As I said earlier in this segment, right, because of the pandemic, new opportunities have been created, new forms of new ways for entrepreneurs to bring their products to the world. And I think that's fantastic as well. So I wouldn't say that it's just been bad, but I think what has happened is that this pandemic has allowed more IP and more new ideas to go out there into the world, and that's why we saw that last year, right, globally, it's not just before WIPO, but not just for international IP applications, but around the world, right, there were more IP applications than ever. I think the highest number ever.